and welcome back for another episode of the Millersberg Construction podcast. I'm your host, Megan. We're here with Payton today. Payton is our lead estimator, supplementer, invoicer, all of the outgoing financial things.
Pretty much.
Would you say? Okay.
Yeah.
How long have you been with Millersberg Construction?
I have been here for like 6 to 7 years, I'd say.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you, backstory that I know, have done a lot of roles here.
I have.
Can you walk us through your expertise in this field?
So I started in high school and it was just like a fun summer job kind of thing, and I did like the receptionist, permit pulling, kind of whatever he wanted me to do. So that was fun, and then I came back when I graduated high school and I started off as receptionist, permits, etc. And then I became a permit runner. I'd run the permits around along with material, so I was material runner at the same time. And then I transitioned over to gutters for a while.
This kills me.
I know.
You hung gutters.
Yeah. I mean, it was nice
She
outside.
hung gutters. Okay, I will give you that.
Yeah.
There's like something fun about being on the job sites
Yeah.
and like outside in the summertime. So you hung gutters for a
Yep.
couple months.
Yep. Oh, and then I moved over to sales. And I liked sales, but then I got introduced to supplementing and I thought it was really interesting, and then I just kind of took off from there.
Tell us a little bit more about what you do as estimator and supplementer, what your role looks like today.
My role is really to pretty much review everything that comes into Millersberg, obviously insurance-wise, but even just like retail jobs, sometimes I'll check like the profitability on it. But for like the insurance side, I'll make sure when the paperwork comes in that everything looks correct. I'll review the job, what the numbers are at insurance-wise, if they missed anything on the scope of work, and then just from there, seeing if there's anything else that the insurance, I think, missed, possibly. Just if they pay for a piece of siding and possibly the siding's discontinued, that'd be, like, my next route. So it's pretty much everything.
It's a lot of detailed work.
Yes.
I feel like. And knowing a lot of parts to the exterior of a home, right?
Pretty much.
Because even if, like, a small facet of something is missed, like, you have to flag that and be like, oh, wait, no, we need this.
Yes. Even just like a little pipe jack.
Yeah, that is so, your product knowledge to me is really, really interesting. And that is technically all supplementing is, right? Is seeing like, hey, they missed this pipe jack, we need to add it on.
Product knowledge, I'd say like code knowledge. I have a ton of like code and manufacturer. And so it's pretty much everything on the install part I need to know.
Yeah, that is so cool to me.
Yeah.
So when you're doing supplements, what that is like seeing what was missed and adding it to a job.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I feel like that piece of your job and what contractors a lot of times do can get misconstrued by other people of thinking like, oh, you're just adding extra work on. It's really just seeing what was maybe missed, right?
Yes. Yep. Just making sure that, like, obviously, if a homeowner's filing a claim, you want it to be, like, everything that they deserve is fulfilled. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Is to make sure that they get what they deserve.
Yeah. So like you said, if
and
one piece of siding is all that's covered, but...
Yes. I'd say, like, even just with, like, adjusters, I have really good relationships with adjusters in that aspect. I'm not reaching in any way. Like, if they forget a pipe jack, it's a quick email to adjusters.
Cool.
So,
yes, I love that. One other interesting thing about just your position in general when it comes to contractors is some contractors outsource your position, right?
Yeah.
Or use a third-party service to do what you do. What do you feel are some of the pros or the benefits to having you in-house at Millersberg Construction doing this work?
I think a pro for me is just having a relationship with all the sales guys or the project managers and knowing each job that comes in from start to finish, because I approve the job and then I pretty much watch it. And then another thing with supplementing is just making sure that it gets done in a timely manner. Desk adjusters want the file off their desk and I want the job off of me. So when it goes from approved to invoice quickly because everything's good and right and I got revised paperwork or whatever, it's good to have.
For me, on the marketing side of things, advertising that you are in-house is always a pro for me, because I feel like then just our homeowners aren't having their information sent elsewhere to people that we don't know, that we don't have a relationship with, for them to figure out the financials of their job. Like all of our homeowners' personal information, everything is kept in-house here. And kind of like you said, then that way there's multiple eyes in this office on every single job.
Yep. And a homeowner can call me any day, and I'm here and I can answer their insurance questions. I could drive to their house and meet with them if need be. I've done a lot where like it does help a lot.
Yeah, you have definitely gone to people's houses
Yes.
and really built relationships with our
Yes.
homeowners, even though what you do is more of a behind-the-scenes position.
Yeah.
You do have relationships with our homeowners, which I think is super cool.
Yeah, I think I could be a lot more behind the scenes, but I like being like front and center to homeowners to let them know that I am always available to help them. And there's no way that we would just ghost it or anything like that and leave them feel like they don't know what's going on.
Yes, totally. Another part of your job that is really fascinating to me is how much training and like credentials you have to have or that you choose to have.
Yeah.
There's a range that you can have, and you have a lot of them. So why don't you share some of those with us?
So I have Exactimate 1 through 3. I was working on getting Catality 1 and 2, and then I have my HAG certified reviewer. I have Blueprint certification. I kind of just get what I think I need, and I try to stay up to date on that stuff. So I used to hold like 10 different HAG certifications. And then they came out with the HAG certified reviewer, which condensed like the 10 into one pretty much, because I had like the residential, the commercial, the metal roofs, the window, like everything was each its individual certification. So now it's condensed. It's a lot easier.
And you're always continuing education too. I know you go to multiple conferences a year. One of them last year was the Verisk one.
Yeah.
Which I find interesting because technically that's more for adjusters and insurance adjusters, right?
Yep.
But you go on behalf of Millersberg to kind of stay up to date on the insurance trends, right?
Pretty much, yeah. And just like learning, I like to know like from an insurance perspective, like what they're expecting from a contractor, which I think gives us like so much more power in the claim, not power in the claim, but just knowing what they're looking for, and I can do that for them then.
Yeah.
And it makes their life easier, and it makes them happier to work with us.
I love that. And like you said, just having that relationship with those adjusters then too.
Yes.
Instead of feeling like we're ever working against them, that we're actually working together to give our mutual homeowner the most benefit that they can get.
Yes, 100%. And I love working with so many adjusters, and I have really good relationships with them, and
that's awesome.
Try to maintain that all the time. So
that's super cool.
Yes.
Speaking of insurance, you obviously have a lot of knowledge there. What are a couple things, if we have homeowners or clients watching, a couple insurance things that you wish people knew?
I wish people knew their policy.
Seriously. Yes. I know. How many people do you feel like don't know what's in their policy?
A lot of people. Like, I'd say 8 out of 10 don't know their policy.
That's crazy.
And it's not just knowing your policy, it's knowing, like, your policy with endorsements and code upgrade. There's so many things that, like, build on top of that people don't know about. And it's not even just exterior-wise. It goes to interior. So you just see it so often, even just like when people's house like flooded in Waterville or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have flood insurance. Granted, you don't think about it, but like I consider putting it on my house after all that stuff happens because I'd rather have the coverage than not.
That is so true. I feel like we have so many homeowners who don't even know what their deductible is.
No.
They don't, because you don't, insurance is one of those things you don't think about it till you have to use it.
Correct.
And at that point, it's too late to do something about it.
Yes. Everybody cares so much about like life insurance and all the insurances, but they never like consider homeowners insurance, which is crazy to me because like usually your home is your biggest investment.
Yeah. No, you're right. Even like from my personal perspective, before working here, I knew nothing about our home policy or any of that stuff because you kind of just get the house insurance because you have to have it when you buy a house.
Yeah. And you call an agent and they give you so many quotes and you usually don't really consider why the quotes are different.
Yeah. So you just pick the best one, which might not actually equal the best coverage.
Yes.
Which is what we run into sometimes.
Correct. But there are really good agents out there that will help you. So if
somebody's watching this, what should they do? What should they do if they're like, oh, I have no idea what my deductible is. I have no idea what's in my policy. What should they go to their agent and be like, hey, can we walk through this?
Yeah, you can go to your agent and walk through it with them. And if you have questions, ask questions. I mean, you can have a PA, like on a lot of PA websites. You can go in and do a policy review, and they'll mention things to you. And I don't know why people wouldn't want to do that. I know not that many people know that they can do that, but
I wouldn't know until I started here.
yeah. But like if you're curious, I would do it.
So with how many advances in technology we have,
Mm-hmm.
but considering how detail oriented your position is, what do you feel like the future of estimating and supplementing looks like in this industry?
I can't tell you exactly, but I know that the industry is forever changing and nothing will probably ever be the same, or very few things will ever be the same. And trends change so much. Like we've started running into adjusters not getting on roofs anymore, and they're droning roofs. So if the future might be droning for everything eventually, but it changes, I think, every single day. So like I never say I know everything because there's something that changes every single day that I'll run into. So I'm curious as to what that'll be.
Yeah, no, I love that. And I think that's another important reason why you're always continuing education too,
Yeah.
and going to events every single season and learning more, because
Yeah.
things are constantly changing.
Like all the time.
Yes,
So.
for sure. And then one last question I have for you that I ask everybody is, what is your best piece of advice to somebody starting out in this industry?
Never think that you know everything, and ask people questions all the time. Yeah, I just feel like mentorship here is
Staying
huge.
a student.
Staying a student all the time, and
Yeah.
just like always asking questions.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to ask questions, and don't answer a question that you don't know.
Yes. Something that I heard too is like, you don't have to know everything, but you have to know the right people who know everything. Like,
Yeah.
And that's all it takes to be.
And it's going to be
successful.
multiple people, not one person.
Yeah.
So like I have a huge like group of people that I can go to, or many people in the industry that I can ask a question to, and I don't feel embarrassed by it because I probably know things that they don't know, and they know things that I don't.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Payton, for joining us today. We'll see you guys next time.
Thank you.